guys, welcome back to my channel, K-Drama Queen. If you haven't already, please watch all my other previous videos, like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. And please help me get to 1,000 subs. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Here's one thing about me. I just love K-dramas, okay? Like, hence the name of the channel, K-Drama Queen. Not just because of like the drama necessarily, like the actual drama, but the idea of like the idea behind it, like the mastermind. Like, how was the idea formatted? And K-dramas may just seem like genius TV like ideas, like genius TV shows with amazing, gorgeous, talented actors and underrated OSTs. Which, side note, the intros at the beginning, they're really good as well. Like K-dramas is literally like a perfect piece of cake. I don't think I've ever come across like American or British TV shows that are perfectly pieced together like K-dramas are. But anyways, back to the point. The reality is though that 9 times out of 10, K-dramas are like based off like key issues in Korean society, or they're based off of true stories. I mean, this is most of the time. Sometimes some dramas are made just for like fun or games and that kind of stuff. But like generally, like 9 times out of 10, you are going to like see a similar pattern between these dramas because they like cover key issues. Okay, now let's just get like started. First drama is All of Us Are Dead. This is a zombie apocalypse drama starring Park Ji-hoo and Lee Chan-young. It tells the story of a failed science experiment. So a science teacher in the school, Lee Byung-chung, he creates a chemical for his son because his son is getting severely bullied. It's not like the kind of bullying that is, oh, you're so fat, you're such a loser, you're such a loner, that kind of stuff. No, it's horrible bullying. They would put him in the washing machine. They would force him to do things that he didn't want to do. They would beat him up. It was just plain horrible. And the dad, watching his son helpless against these bullies, made a chemical so his son would become stronger, but it backfired and he turned into a zombie. And like any scientist, whatever problem you've caused, you have to fix it. So he locks his son away and then he like injects the same chemical into different animals and then try to find a cure, like try to find something that can cure it, okay? Until one day a student walks into a science lab and gets bitten by like an animal, one of the animals, like a hamster, okay? And then she turns into a zombie and then it kind of just spreads from there. Like it spreads from the entire school, then it spreads into the entire city of Hyosan, and I think it spreads to the entirety of South Korea, if I'm correct. I think that's what happens as well. And the key issue in this is basically bullying because, believe it or not, the teacher, so Lee Byung-chun, actually reported the bullying to the school administrators. But guess what they said? They said, "Oh, friends just tease each other. It's all just fun and games. Whatever. We don't care." And then he even reported it to the police as well. And like they weren't doing their job. They just didn't care. So as a father, as any concerned father, what he tried to do is he tried to like protect his son, but then it backfired. So it kind of shows to the extent that he had to go to in order to protect his son. And that's how bad and unbearable the school bullying was. And so you can basically say that was the bully's fault that, like, yeah, it's the bully's fault that this zombie apocalypse happened in the first place. But this links like highly with South Korea's main issue, which is actually bullying, because most teachers in schools, they just turn a blind eye to bullying. They don't really care. It's the same with the police as well. There's many cases where people are like get bullied. They do the right thing, like anything which teachers tell you, any adult will tell you that, oh yeah, like if you're a victim of bullying, tell anyone, tell a trusted adult, tell like the teachers, and if it's really really bad bullying, tell the like police. But in South Korea, no, 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 they would just turn a blind eye to bullying. You just Yeah, they just don't listen to you, and it is unfortunately really sad, but it's the truth. And PS, please make sure all the dramas that I'm talking about, make sure you check them out like on Netflix because these dramas are actually really, really good. Like, yeah. And another thing as well, how I came across All of Us Are Dead is actually like coincidental or really funny. Like this was actually one of my first K dramas, and I'm gonna do another podcast on how I came across different K dramas and like how I came across All of Us Are Dead. So yeah. Next drama is My Name. This is starring Han So Hee, Park Ki-soon and An Bo-yeon. It is about a young woman who takes revenge for her father. So her father gets murdered in like mysterious circumstances, and she wants to take revenge for her father by finding the killer and basically killing the killer. So it's basically eye for an eye kind of situation. And what she does is that she joins up with a drug ring boss, and she acts as a mole inside the police force because very little evidence on the crime scene basically shows that whoever killed her father was a police officer. And this one is a little less related to South Korea, like not like All of Us Are Dead, but it kind of just shows how much of an extent she had to go to, because in episode 1, so when her father was first killed, she went to the police, yeah, and she was demanding evidence, okay? And on the one hand, the police didn't have much evidence. There wasn't really much evidence at the crime scene. But on the other hand, the police weren't really doing their job, and they were so nonchalant about it as well. So they were like, oh, if you're so determined to catch the killer, why don't you do it instead? And it's pretty unclear whether she wanted the police to put her dad's killer behind bars, or she wanted to kill him himself. It's very unclear, but yeah, it goes to the extent that she had. It just like goes to show to the like how much effort she had to put in. So that's pretty much it. And like, yeah, My Name, The Revenge is actually so good, and it's one of probably the most best action dramas ever. And I'm such a fan of Han So Hee as well. That's why that's why she's on my YouTube profile pic. Next drama is The Glory. I love The Glory. Okay, this is probably one of the best dramas. I think it was ranked best dramas of 2023. So there you go. Like, you can hate K dramas, but you can never hate The Glory. It stars Song Hye Kyo, the queen of K actors, and Lee Do Yeon. It's about Moon Dong Eun, she was a high school student, and she was severely bullied. So again, this one is about bullying, and these five bullies, they would take her to like the sports hall every single day. They would burn her with hair curlers. They would just literally mutilate her. It was so horrible. So then after she dropped out of school, and then she had to like work for herself, and her parents abandoned her. And then one day she was just standing near a lake, probably thinking about her life, and then she's like, why should I die? Am I just gonna let my bullies like live their best life, go on bullying more people? So she spent years creating the most perfect revenge plan. Like, it was so perfectly planned out. How can someone have such intelligence to plan out something this great? I'm not going to spoil it for you, but you need to check this out because her planning was absolutely amazing. So in My Name, yeah, the revenge was good, but it was just kind of eye for an eye situation. Like, he killed my father, I'm going to kill him. But this one was not. It wasn't necessarily killing her bullies, but it was more like trying to just break them apart and make them suffer like she did. And like, to be honest, the way she did it, she did it in a way that there was no blood on her hands. So let's say the police was to investigate the revenge, technically speaking, she couldn't go to jail for it because she just set out the layout like for her bullies. So technically speaking, the bullies basically destroyed themselves. And actually, the bullying, so the one where she was burnt by like hair colors and stuff. This was based on a true story in South Korea in 2016, which again, I am going to do another podcast about that. And the revenge aspect was actually based on a story in Japan. So not South Korea, but Japan, where this boy tried to take revenge on his bullies. It failed and he went to jail. But again, I'm going to do another podcast on that. And it just shows how intense like bullying is. And at high school, Moon Dong, she could not handle the physical and mental torture, and she went to the police, went to the teachers. Guess what they did? Nothing. And her bullies were very rich and influential, like very rich and influential. And she came from a poor family background, so like she had no protection. So she had to take matters into her own hands and concoct this most perfect revenge plan. Next drama is Tomorrow. Tomorrow is about Grim Reapers who basically help people who are about to commit suicide. So help people who are about to commit suicide and try to convince them that life is worth living. And this key issue is basically in South Korea probably has one of the most highest suicide rates. So all these K issues that K dramas explore, they ultimately lead into one big issue, which is the suicide rate. like the suicide rate is extremely high. And I'm so glad that like whoever made this drama, like yeah, this whoever made this drama, like I have high respect for them for pointing out like such an important key issue in South Korea. But unfortunately, though, in South Korea, this drama actually flopped. It like lacked ratings. It was really bad. Like domestically didn't do so well, but like abroad, a lot of people loved Tomorrow. But like yeah, unfortunately in South Korea, it was like yeah, it flopped. But I don't understand why, because it is a very key issue. And with these K dramas, so if you do watch K dramas, you might be aware of this. Some K dramas are just like straightforward. So like each episode is just basically like a story is told, okay? But some K dramas, what it is that each episode is basically a new case. So, for example, if it's like a law drama, for example, each episode might be a new case or something like that. That's like it with Tomorrow, but Tomorrow also has a small story connected into it. But I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. But yeah, so it has a small story connected with Tomorrow. But ultimately, each episode is a new suicide case, basically. And like two of them which actually hit really hard to me is one was basically eating disorders. So yeah, like, eating disorders is a very huge issue in South Korea as well. So like because obviously you know how people like have the certain body expectation, and I was actually doing some research on this, and apparently in shops and clothing departments plus size doesn't really exist, and like they don't really have a range of clothing for like all types of sizes, kind of like a Korean one size. And like yeah, so eating disorders is another big issue in South Korea because there's tons of eating disorders, and for understandable reasons. Lots of other countries probably have like eating disorders, but in South Korea at least, it's probably really bad. And another one was about this like actress who she was contemplating on her life. So this was like one of the last episodes, episode 15. So Tomorrow had episode it had 16 episodes. This is like the 15th episode, and like she was basically getting bullied by like the whole of South Korea, like a whole of like audience for basically no reason. Because this is another issue as well. A lot of idols have high expect like idols have literally they have to have the most perfect life. Like if you are a K drama fan, you probably might see some videos of like some actors getting cancelled for literally no reason. And generally speaking, unfortunately, yeah, it's very misogynist. It's mostly females that like get they get cancelled for literally no reason, and I think it's really dumb. I literally have no idea to like what to say. Like there's so many different examples. So Yeji, although she's hers wasn't as bad, Kim Seiron was extremely bad. I'm gonna do another podcast about Kim Seiron. Looks like I've got lots of podcasts I need to do. Hopefully I have the time on my hands. But yeah, Kim Seiron is like another example. And like to be honest, I'm just thinking it's so annoying because South Korea have lots of talented individuals, but they're all like South Korea is losing very important actors just because of these stupid scandals, like in quotation marks, scandals. Next drama, so yeah, this is just turning into a angry letter. I'm sorry. Focus. Next drama is Squid Game. Again, Squid Game isn't directly linked to South Korea issues, but I think it just probably like the gap in society because some people are just fantastically rich, others are desperately poor, and they don't have an equal chance in life, especially in South Korea. Because in other countries you have lots of opportunities to become something. In South Korea, like if you don't pass the CSAT or if you don't go college, you have very little chance in life. And unless you're a pretty face and like you have talent, you can become an actor. It's pretty hard in South Korea. So I think this drama was trying to convey like the struggles that most people go through, and not everyone is started. They're not everyone's born with a silver spoon. Not everyone's like has a fair chance in life. And I think and what Squid Game was probably the like highest watched drama in on Netflix. It was probably one of the best dramas. And like in case some of you don't know what Squid Game is about, it's like about this like weird company. Or, I don't know how to describe it, but like this company basically like advertises to like lots of people. So I think around 456 people who are in debt, who are like on the brink of like living. Like, oh, come and play 6 children games, and you can earn a huge cash prize. But there is a catch. If you lose any of the games, you basically die, and only one of the players, or so one out of 456 players, can actually get the prize. And again, it shows to the extent that these people are willing to like go like to save their financial situation, because like they were like in severe amount of debt. Next drama is My Love from the Star. My Love from the Star is actually a pretty old drama. It was in 2013, but as they say, old is gold. Just kidding. I'm not a old person. I'm actually in high school, guys. Okay, and I'm not an old fashioned person, but some old things are actually gold. Like 2013, yeah. Like this is ranked best drama of 2013, and it is a very good drama. So guys, don't be put off of it just because it's an old drama. Please do watch this because it is pretty good. It's about a actress. So this actress, she basically meets this alien. So this alien, yeah, comes from like another planet, like from a star. Okay, I think like from a planet or star, yeah. And then he's unable to go home, so he stays there. So he's lived there for over 400 years. And then a comet is about to come, yeah, and this is going to take him back to his home planet. But then he meets this actress, Chun Sung-gi, and he doesn't want to leave. And guess who plays the alien? Hottie Kim Soo Yeon. Do you guys want to watch it now? Now you've heard the name Kim Soo Yeon. But yeah, this doesn't really have any key issues in it necessarily. But I think because Chon Sung Yi, yeah, so she was like, an actress, yeah, but she got cancelled for a lot of things. Maybe because of her ignorance, which is something to mock about, but like, come on now. Like, it's not as if she's murdering someone. Like, why are you being so hateful on her? She's an actress, for heaven's sake. She didn't go university, she didn't go school. Like, what do you expect of her? Like, she's an actress. Like, sometimes like I watch like the Weakest Link, or sometimes it has celebrities like answering some questions, and sometimes when they answer it wrong, it's kind of funny, but like at the same time you need to understand that they didn't go to school, they didn't have an education. I mean, some of them do have education, but like they didn't go to school, they didn't go education. Like, what do you expect of them? Like, come on now. And it shows that, like, again, in South Korea, actors get hated all the time for basically no reason. And again, it's extremely dumb. Like, I'm literally lost for words. Like, I have no idea what to say. Like, it's just dumb. That's all I have to say. Next drama is Juvenile Justice. This is highly linked to South Korea. Juvenile Justice is about this judge who wants to not take revenge, but she wants to teach like young juvenile offenders. Like, she just wants to put them to justice. She wants to teach them a lesson because she thinks that juvenile offenders do not get like they don't get the punishment that they deserve. And then she wants to put them to like justice. And this is a key issue in South Korea because most teenagers, like whenever they offend, they don't really get much, like they don't get much of a punishment. So like in the UK, for example, I think the punishment's all right, I guess, but like in South Korea, it's extremely bad. You get probation at best, and there has been several cases where some people have been a victim of violence. They've been, and lots of teenagers have been doing like things that are against the law, but they don't even like they don't get any punishment. They don't get any appropriate punishment. They get probation. They might get days house arrest, and the worst thing is the police actually try covering this up because they have South Korea have this idea of perfectionism. So they're like pinpoint perfect, and like they think that any scandals or anything like this should be covered up. And like that doesn't really help the situation because people are going to find out anyways. It makes your country look more bad than it already is. Like, come on now. Next drama is Nevertheless. Nevertheless, I wouldn't say it has any key issues in particular, but it has like so it's about a woman, yeah, who wants to date, but she doesn't believe in love anymore. And then this guy, who likes flirting with girls, but he's not like ready to be in a full-time relationship. And this probably shows that in like countries like South Korea, in Japan, in China, these kind of relationships are romanticized a lot because most of the time, yeah, people are like, oh, these like relationships, they're so abusive. That guy is just flirting with other girls. He's not ready to be in a full-time relationship, and it is a pretty nice drama, I guess. But it just kind of shows that like these kind of like weird relationships, like it's kind of hard to explain, but if you watch it, you will understand. It's just kind of like yeah, they like South Koreans, they romanticize like these kind of dramas a lot, like yeah, a lot. It's pretty much one of the reasons why like most women in South Korea don't even want to get married nowadays. It's like marriage, why would I do that? And especially celebrities as well, because unfortunately these relationships they just end in like breakups like 3 months breakup, 3 months breakup. Like for example, Kim Ji Soo and An Bo Yeon, which was kind of sad, but like probably more for An Bo Yeon because I'm more interested in him. Like I don't really listen to K-pop. I'm more of a like K-drama fan. But like my friend, yeah, she loves Kim Ji Soo, and then like she was just like yeah, like when we first heard of their relationship, we were so like happy, but then afterwards, like but after we found out their breakup, we were just like. Please excuse my childish behavior, but I am still technically a child. I'm under 18, okay? Like, leave me alone, guys. Next drama is King Dalan. I'm actually watching this drama at this moment in time. I'm like on episode 15, and it's just like a love story between a very rich, like not a CEO, but he's the chairman of a hotel, so King Hotel, his son, and then a regular employee who he can't resist her irresistible smile. And then this probably shows like because what happens is that there's this sister who's desperate to inherit king group. So she's desperate to inherit king group. So like basically like the male lead's older sister is desperate to like inherit king group. And when she like finds out about their relationship, so like when like he finds out about her like their relationship, she actually posts it on social media. And then like the articles basically read King Group's second Cinderella because like the male lead's dad actually did the same thing, like like a dad basically like married a regular employee but it ended in divorce. So that's what basically happened. And it like and another thing as well, that another key issue that this drama like shows is basically employee like injustice. That's what it shows, because a lot of the the bosses like treat the employees like they're trash. And like at first the male lead's actually like a bit of a brat, but then when he sees like the state that the hotel's in, the fact that these hardworking employees are not getting recognized for their effort and work, he wants to fix that. So and like at first he was not even interested in inheriting king group, but then he's like when he finds out that this is what these employees have to go through day after day just to get a small paycheck, he's just like, I need to spring into action, not just for my girlfriend, but just for society in general. Because his sister's all about profits and stuff, and it is important to be have a business like mindset, I guess. But at the same time, these employees are the reason why you're here today. Like, come on, you need to treat your employees much better. And like so the female lead Chun Sarang, she has two friends as well, and they go through the same thing as well. So King Group is just basically a bunch of companies mixed together. So there's King Hotel, and then there's King, I think fashion, I forgot what it's called, but it's like a department store where one of her friends work. And then the boss, yeah, keeps telling them increase sales, and increase sales, and like just putting unrealistic pressure on them. And like that woman's actually married as well, and she has and like her mom-in-law's her like her not just her mom-in-law, but her like so her dad, so her husband's family like don't treat her extremely well. I mean, towards the end they recognize her for her hard work, but then like towards the beginning we see how they just disregard her totally. This is another issue in South Korea as well. This is why most women don't get married, because their mom-in-law and especially the mom-in-law and their family, like their in-laws, yeah, they don't treat them very nicely, and like they just demand work of them. They're just like, oh yeah, you cook this cook me some kimchi, will you cook me some takbuki. That's just kind of how the vibe is. And then another one of her friends work in King Air, so she's a flight attendant, and like again the boss treats her like trash, and like promises her that, oh yeah, if you increase sales, I'll promote you. But instead promotes the woman's like junior. Like she's literally been working there for a really long time and she hasn't even been promoted yet. So again, it just shows like employee like injustice. And then another thing as well, relationships between an extremely rich person and a regular employee, I wouldn't say they look down on, but it's just a bit like strange for people, because people are like, oh yeah, marry someone from your social status, don't marry someone who's lower than you, like especially for women. But then for like guys as well, they're like, oh, you should do a marriage of convenience, not a marriage of love, which is a bit silly, because if a person's already rich, what's the need to marry someone richer? And besides, like you're going to be spending your entire life with this person. You should pick someone that you truly love, you truly want to spend your entire life with them. And yeah, so like most of these dramas tend to have 12 episodes, 8 episodes, or 16 episodes. King the Land had 16 episodes. I'm on episode 15. Hopefully, I finish it. Yeah, hopefully I really finish it, and then I'll let you guys. Actually, I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys, but yeah, please do check it out. I'm so excited. I can smell a marriage coming. I can literally sense a marriage. Next drama is King's Affection. This is actually a historic drama. So this is probably based off of life back in the day. So back in like Korean life. And what it's about, so there's these two, so this like crown princess, so she gives birth to twins, okay, a boy and a girl. And then like obviously and then the crown princess is like, husband, yeah, is basically like, oh, you can't say to people that you gave birth to twins, because no one's going to accept a king who shared a room with a girl, which is very stupid but historic at the same time. So if this drama was based off of today, I would have been so pissed. I would have just been like, what is this? But then it's a historic drama as well. So like obviously we know back in the day, females weren't seen as, yeah, they weren't seen as intelligent, which I think is stupid, but yeah, it is what it is. And like nowadays, we are making a bit of progress, and we do see South Korea making a little progress, but they still have a long way to go before we can say that they are, yeah, that they are like totally gender equal. Like even the pay gap between actors. So I think the highest female like paid actor is Song Hye Kyo, if I'm right, and Kim Soo Hyun is the highest male actor, like male paid actor. Okay, but even the pay gap between them, it's actually really like the pay gap between them is not like, it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, the pay gap as well. Pay gap is an issue almost everywhere, but again, in South Korea at least, it is really bad. Anyway, back to the whole twin situation. So the husband forces her to give away the female twin and then just pretend that only the son was born. Okay, and then coincidentally, like when the like girl, yeah, so when she's like 10 years old, she basically like works for them as a servant. Okay, and then the mom realizes that it's her, and then like, and because she's twin, she's literally identical to the prince, okay? And then they just decide to prank people, and they decided to dress up as each other. So they like dress in each other's clothes, which I find really cute. But unfortunately, someone who is trying to kill the girl kills the guy instead. And like they look exactly identical, but the only way you can actually find like tell between them is that the girl has this weird like birthmark on her neck, and then when like so the mom, yeah, goes to like a like probably like mourn over her dead son's like body, but then she realizes that it's not not dead son, I mean dead daughter, yeah, dead daughter. She goes to her dead daughter, yeah, but then she noticed that the scar's not there, and then that's when she realizes it's actually her son that got killed. So then what does the daughter have to do? She has to pretend that she's a guy. She has to pretend that she's a prince. Okay. Then there's this like when she's a bit when she's like older and a complete adult, and like she becomes king. This tutor, so the tutor, royal like tutor, okay, like it's basically a love story between them, and then the tutor thinking like she's a guy, yeah, is basically like, oh my god, like I like her, but obviously because back in the day being gay wasn't really like, it wasn't really an okay thing to do. But then yeah, when like he finds out that she's female, it's like, yeah, because like there was this one scene where she basically undresses in front of the male lead, and then the male lead like is like, this is basically the moment when he realizes he's not gay anymore. And oh, I apologize, I forgot to mention the actors who are in King the Land. So King the Land is basically Lim Yoon Ah and Lee Jun Ho. So yeah, those are like the actors for this one. And then for King's Affection, you are not gonna guess which two hotties are the actors. Park Eun Bin and Rowoon. What better actors could you find? And Rowan was also in Tomorrow as well, alongside with Kim Hee Soon. Sorry, just slipped out of my mind to mention the actors, but yeah, that's what it is, okay? Next drama is True Beauty. I have no words for True Beauty. Like, True Beauty was literally a True Beauty. Like, I have a cousin of mine, okay, and she does not like K dramas whatsoever, but she checked out True Beauty, and then she literally like told me that, oh my days, True Beauty was so good. Like, I was so wrong about K dramas. True Beauty is so good. Like, what on earth? True Beauty, like that's what she was just saying to me for the past, like for like 2 days straight. She was saying to me, True Beauty is really, really good. And like I haven't really watched True Beauty, like not properly yet, but like I've watched a couple of the episodes and it is really, really good. Like I've literally I have so many K dramas I need to watch. I've literally made an entire list. Like it's just list after this. It's literally like such a long list. And then every time I watch it, I just tick it off and I'm like, yep, next K drama now. So yeah, True Beauty. And then I don't exactly know who the actors who are in True Beauty, but I will find that out for you guys. But True Beauty is about this girl. So she gets severely bullied in like in her old school. She was like bullied because she didn't fit the beauty standards. Okay, and then she like what she did, and then when she transferred to a new school, she then like was focused on becoming a true beauty. So she basically like learned how to wear makeup. She like covered her acne. She like tried to like learn how to fit beauty standards. And then when she first enrolled in her school, all the guys were gravitating towards her and all the girls were just staring at her in both jealousy but amazement as well. It wasn't just like, oh my god, she's so pretty, like ugh. It wasn't like rage. It was just kind of like, oh my god, she's so pretty, like I wish I looked like her. I would literally sell my soul just to look like her. Okay, so this probably like shows that like how intense beauty standards are, because there's this typical idea I had as a kid. So as a kid, yeah, that like, oh, the prettiest person is the most popular person, okay? But that's not what it necessarily is. Like generally speaking, it's the person who's the most well liked and that has like the most friends and like probably the most daring as well, and like has personalities which are extremely attractive and charismatic towards people. Like in my school, for example, the most popular people aren't necessarily the prettiest people. They're just people who are just so sociable, so confident, so like unfortunately not all popular people are actually nice, but yeah, let's not get into that. But some people are actually really, really pretty, really, really nice, and like everything about them is really perfect. But in South Korea, I think it is pretty equals popular. That's what it is. Okay, like very, very straightforward. And like because yeah, like South Koreans, they value beauty a lot. Like beauty is probably like one of the key things that they like prioritize the most, alongside studying as well. Like studying, like being pretty, like those are the things that they prioritize a lot. And yeah, and actually, like I was watching these videos. It was basically like South Koreans reacting to like people from different countries. So for example, Turkey, Egypt, some parts of Africa, like Egyptian people, like Somalians, some people from America, even someone from the UK as well. They would like meet with them, and then they would just like, "Oh my days, you are extremely, extremely pretty." And then the comments were literally reading, "South Koreans do really value beauty, huh? Like they really do value beauty." And I suppose it's not really a bad thing, but I guess it can get a bit toxic as well. Like, come on, like, I think in my school, like I don't think you get bullied for being ugly. I guess uh, obviously, to be honest, most people are pretty in their own ways. But like in South Korea, unfortunately, you're going to get beat up if you don't fit beauty standards. It's just a sad thing. And actually, some actors as well, they get shamed a lot for like not fitting like beauty standards. So it was this weird video. So this video I came across. It was basically actors who are considered ugly in South Korea but beautiful overseas. And like there's many examples. Park So Dam, Kim Go-eun. There's lots of examples, and I am gonna do a podcast on that as well. Gosh, I have so many podcasts to do. What do I do? And then like back to like True Beauty. Okay, like she first finds it really easy because she's just like, oh, being pretty is the solution to everything. But then she realizes that it's a lot harder than she thought it was to like fit like beauty standards. And then she just tries to learn how to love herself, try to accept herself, and there's also a bit of juicy romance in there as well. So I'll definitely recommend. So all these dramas, you better watch them. Okay, anyone who's watching this podcast, I mean, not watching, listening to this podcast, you better watch these dramas. Okay, I know where you live. You better watch them. Yeah. So yeah, it just shows how intense like beauty standards are, and like yeah, that's just pretty much it. All right, then this is my last drama. Okay. A side note, most like to be honest, there's so many dramas, like so many dramas that I could go on about, but this is probably the last drama that I'm going to be talking about, and this is another historic drama, Young Song Creature. Okay, this again features Han So Hee, the Queen, And so what's this drama about? It's like so it's based in World War, so post World War Two. Wait, I don't know if it's post World War Two, but like it's around. I think it's around the wartime or something like that. But what it is that it's like it's a Japanese occupied Japanese occupied Korea, and these people and like the Japanese soldiers would basically kidnap people and put them in this hospital called Unsong Hospital, and these people would not come out. Like anyone who goes to Unsong Hospital, they never return. Duh, duh, duh. Yeah, so they never return. It's because the Japanese soldiers, they do experiments on them, and then one of these, so the female lead Han So Hee, her mother is one of the like victims who get kidnapped in Onsong Hospital. And then in one of the experiments, they're trying to make some weird creature or some powerful force that can help them in the war. Okay, and like it's called the Najin. It's like a Najin parasite which takes over your brain, and then they injected it with some anthrax thing, and then it made her mother a monster. Okay, young song creature. Okay, and then I think what the aim is that like the female lead is trying to find the female lead's trying to find her mother, and then what happens is that like this male lead, okay, Master Jung, like he owns the House of Golden Treasure. One of the police one of the police people, the Japanese police in who are like the local police, yeah, Ishikawa, demands him to know where his where his mistress went, Myungja, or Japanese name Akiko, which is really cool. Like if I was a Japanese, like if I had a Japanese name, I would definitely have Akiko because like such a cute name. But yeah, like demands him that you need to find Akiko ASAP, or I will take all your assets away. Okay, understand, Master Jung? Yeah, so that's what the vibe is. And like he is literally panicking at this point. And the female lead's actually a spy, okay? So she's a sleuth, okay, alongside her father. And but her main mission was to actually find her mother, okay? And then they kind of make a bit of a deal. So like Master Jung is saying that I'll help you find your mother if you help me find Akiko. And then where is Akiko? In Onsong Hospital. And then it's just basically that. And like this is not really a key issue in society, but because it's a historic drama, it's based off of true events back in the day. Okay, and like Japan did occupy South Korea, and they did kidnap a lot of people, and they did do experiments on them, like nasty experiments on them. It's like the Holocaust, like how like doctors like doctors would try to they would do experiments on like the Jews. This is how the situation is. The Japanese would do experiments on the civilians, and like while a creature was not made, like at least I hope not, at least I hope not a deadly creature was made. At the same time, you're literally violating their privacy. Why are you doing experiments on them? And why are you in South Korea again? Like, come on, don't you have your own country, Japan? Yeah. Like to be honest, I haven't really watched many Japanese dramas, and I'm not gonna I've only watched probably like a Japanese movie, and I'm not gonna drop it because I'm like, oh my god, like Japan invaded South Korea. Like it's all in the past, but at the same time I have a bit of I don't know, lack of respect for Japan for doing that. But yeah, so that's what it is. And this is a really sad thing as well. A lot of the women in South Korea were actually kidnapped to become comfort women. So like women who would basically tend to soldiers. I'm not going to talk about it a lot, but yeah, that's what basically happens. And like it's really sad. But do you know what the worst thing is? When those women come back, they literally get shunned from society. Like it's not even your fault. How is it your fault that these weird Japanese men kidnapped me, forced me to do some things, forced me to become a comfort woman? I come back and I don't even get a nice welcome back home. I was expecting, oh, like welcome back, sweetie. I've been so welcome back. Like, are you all right? Like, how did those Japanese people treat you? No, they literally get shunned from society, and it's like really, really sad. So, and that is the end of this podcast. What are your thoughts on this? Like, there's tons of dramas which have there's too many to even mention. Like, if I was to talk about it, we'd probably be in 2025, and I would have missed a year's worth of K dramas, which yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. So like a lot of these dramas, they cover key issues and some real life events. Some of them sometimes some of these dramas are just made for all fun and games. But yeah, please comment on what you thought of this, and please comment anything else that you want me to cover, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.
내 곁에 다가와 웃는 너 조금씩 내 맘도 너에게 빠져들어가